Hello, year 8. Sorry I'm not there with you, but I am at home with COVID. And yes, you can probably hear that in my voice. We got a couple of lessons. I don't want us to miss out on today's lesson. We also got one next week, which I'll miss until I'm back at school, assuming all my symptoms clear up. So I don't want this lesson to, to be a waste. And so I'm going to go through this little stuff with you. So this is an exercise in rounding. I know we're doing Pythagoras' theorem. We'll come back to that in a bit. But today I just wanted to do something a bit simpler, which we do also need. So next week, more Pythagoras. So this one is rounding. So at first, the first page of this is just rounding whole numbers. And then on the other side is rounding decimals. So rounding decimals. That's what we're really going to need. But this first one's a bit of a warm-up. So how do we round numbers? Well, we're just simplifying them a bit. So 52, what we're saying there is, it's about 50. Like that's it. It's about. 98, it's about 100. Now this is an unusual question. They say to the nearest 5. Very unusual. So 7, hey, what's that close to? Close to 5. 33, what's it close to? 35. 9, close to 10. So we want to round it to things ending in a 5 or ending in a 0. 70, what's it close to? Oh, sorry, 71, what's it close to? 70, etc., etc. When the numbers get a bit bigger, a bit further down the page, 1,048, that's 1,050. So then the numbers get bigger. We really only need to look at the last 2 digits normally. But yeah, so we just have a go at those first lot. Yeah, and then so whoever's playing this video, please pause it now because the answers are going to appear in 3, 2, 1. And here are the first lot of answers. Notice that number 7, the 2, when you round that to the nearest 5, actually drops down to 0. And this one here, number 15, I'll zoom in a bit. 28,498. You had to go up from 98 up to the 100. So the 400 became 500. So those two were a little bit tricky. All right, going to scroll down. 3, 2, 1. All right, now rounding to the nearest 10. Now this is much more common. Rounding to the nearest 5, very, very rare. I guess they're doing it. No, it was just a warm up. So nearest 10, 12, close to 10. 56, it's closer to, it's between 50 and 60, but it's closer to 60. 104, between 100 and 110, closer to 100. Now this is the tricky one when it ends in at 5. So between 250 and 260, it's halfway between. It's halfway between them. But we round it up. If it's a 5, we go up. That's the rule. So 255 becomes 260. All right, and another, there's 4 here, 1. Nearest 10 is a 0. So yeah, so have a go at the rest of those. Answers will be in 3, 2, 1. And there are the answers there. The last one was tricky. 19,996. When you round to the nearest 10, you had to go up from 96 to 100, which lifted it up. 900 became 1,000, 19,000 became 20,000. So a lot of digits changed there when we rounded up that one. That's a lot of people get tricked out by that. All right, going to scroll up. Now, nearest 100 now. So nearest 100. So this one here, we say, 149. It's between 100 and 200. It's closer to 100 because 50 is the halfway point. 670, it's between 600 and 700, closer to 700. 29, between 0 and 100, another one of those 0 ones. 250, so it's halfway between 200 and 300, but the trick is round up. If it's halfway, you go up. So 1809, 1800. Have a go at these ones, rounding to the nearest 100. And while we're at it, have a go at this one here to the nearest 1,000 as well. So same thing. So this is between 9,000 and 10,000. This one here. So we say, but which one's closer to? 9,000. This one here between 3,000 and 4,000, closer to 4,000 because the halfway point is the 500. This one here between 22,000, 23,000. All right. So have a go at that entire second column, and answers will appear in 3, 2, 1. All right. Here's the answers to the top half there. So that was nearest 100. Very important. Nearest 100. So that's that instruction. Very important. Nearest 100. Then scrolling down. Nearest 1,000. Another one of those silly 0 ones. There were a few tricky ones in here. I really had to think. Some of this, 275,000. To round up there. These ones where the numbers got big. Easy to make mistakes there. Then the 99,000 rounding up to 100,000. Going up one. All right, so there's that next column there. I'm not going to do it because I want to get onto decimals. I really want you to focus on decimals today. This is a bunch of adding then rounding on the side there. So just scrolling up. Not worth doing. Not worth doing. I just want to get those 2 columns done. All right, let's go on other page. Down we go. So rounding decimals. So this is something that happens all the time, especially in this topic, other topics we do. And just in the real world, it's like, you ever had someone who's just giving you too much information? That's kind of what we got here. They're like, oh, the number here is 1.1627. Dude, I don't care. That's too much. Let's just stop. So the nearest 10th here, let's just stop at 1.2. We'll do a few of these to get the hang of it. So 0.87, like we look at that, it's 0.8. But we look at the next digit afterwards. That next digit afterwards is a 7. So we go to round up to 0.9. All right, so we go 0.4 because we're going to 1 decimal place, the nearest 10th. And the next digit after that is a 3. And if it's a 3, you leave it how it is. The trick is 5 and up, we got to round up. All right, so the next one's 0.9. And the next digit is a 0. Yeah, we're definitely not rounding that. So 0.9. I recommend using multiple colors here. It'll make your life easier. 0.0, but then the next digit after that is a 5. We got to round up. We got to round up. It's past the halfway point. 0.1. It's up. So this is how we do it. You go look at the first digit. That's where we're going to round to. And then it's either going to stay as a 3 or it's going to go up to a 4. And in this case here, it goes up to a 4. So it becomes 18.4. We round it up because that next digit is a 7. 5 and up, round up. I want you to have a go at the rest of those ones to the 1 decimal place. Answers in 3, 2, 1. Oh man, they threw some hard ones at you. So the first one was fine, 22.1. That one's all good. This one, 67. They wanted to 1 decimal place, so I just put on the 0.0 on the end. That's a silly one. 56.94, we had to round up. That one was a normal one. And then we had 2 tricky ones. So this one here, we had the 9, and we had to round it up. So 129.9, we had to go up to 130, because there's nothing above the 9. So that one had to go up. It had to go up. Same with the next one here. We had 99.95. We had to round up to 100 because the 99 had nowhere left to go. So you have to go up for 100. All right, those are tricky ones. Scrolling down. All right, 2 decimal places now. Same pattern. Look at the second. So we want 2 dp. So that's our second one. So it's 0, 1, 2. I draw a little line here. Do we have to leave it as it is or round up? Oh, we're rounding up. So the 2.7 becomes 2.8. Next one there. So it's 8.0. Next digit's a 5. Oh, rounding up again. If it's a 5, you round up. So 0.80 becomes 0.81. And I'm going to skip ahead actually. So 73.2, the 16 one, that's a silly one. Because they wanted 2 decimal places, you put a 0 on the end. It's a silly one. All right, so this one here, tricky one. 18. 9.998. So we're rounding up, but we got nowhere left to go. So the 99, 9.99, we got to go up to 10. So you end up with 10.00. You just have to push up, up, up. You have to add 1. And then I'll let you have a go at the rest of them. So 2 decimal places. Mark off the decimal place you're rounding to. And round, leave it or round up. Those are your options. Leave it or round up. All right. Answers in 3, 2, 1. And there are your answers. The last 2 are tricky. You have to add on the decimal places that weren't there, and that one you have to round up a bunch. All right, scrolling up. This one nearest 1,000, so 3 dp, same thing. I want you to mark off that one. So the 3rd decimal place this time. Not the 1st, not the 2nd, the 3rd one. So this one is 2.767. Because we didn't have to round up because it was 4 there. But the next one we will have to round up because it's a 6, 0.844. So you're going to have a go at those ones there. And rounding to the nearest unit is a little bit easier. We'll come back to that. So answers in 3, 2, 1. And more answers. Yeah, a bunch of tricky ones. So you have to add in the decimal places. I prefer if they had regular questions. More practice. Right, scrolling down. 3, 2, 1. So nearest place. So nearest unit. This one is important. So it's like, say you got 4.7 meters. What's that close to? It's close to 5 meters. So we got 5. That's all we're doing there. We're just getting rid of the decimals by rounding there. So we're rounding at the decimal point this time. So we're rounding at the decimal place. So this is to the nearest unit. So that's one here. So standard colors. 9.3 stays as 9. 18.78. Do we leave it as 18 or do we go up to 19? We go up to 19. So have a go at those ones. And also have a go at the rest of it. Actually, yeah, do this and this one up here. But no, I always give you a bit of help. Okay, just this one. I should give you a warning. Answers in 3, 2, 1. And there are your answers. Scrolling up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so these ones here, you got to round to what they tell you to round to. So every question is different. This one, they want you to go to 2 decimal places. So you go there. This one, they want you to go to 1 decimal place. So you're rounding there. This one, well, that's the last digit you want. You might have to round. 0 decimal places, that means to the nearest unit there. So we're rounding, we're keeping that digit. 3 decimal places, 2 decimal places, etc. So for the first one, it's looking at the next digit, becomes 29.68. And this one, no change, 1361.5. Okay, bunch of weird ones. So, 0 dp, it's just a 0. And we're missing decimal places, so we have to add on some. All right, have a go at the rest of those. And also this one down here, you have to round it to 1 decimal place. You got to round it to 2 decimal places. And you got to round it to 3. But remember, always start from the original number. Don't like go to the 3, then the 2, then the 1. No, start from the original number and round it to each of those. So finish off that column and we're done for the lesson. So answers in 3, 2, 1. All right, there's the answers for the right column. And scrolling down, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, bottom half there as well. All right, that's all our rounding there. Rounding practice. Just a useful skill for everyday life and for all these maths problems we do. All right, so we got one lesson next week. I'll make a video for that one as well. All right, I hope you have fun at the athletics carnival tomorrow. Bye.